Our judges were here bright and early this morning to look over all the cars and pick the winners of the various categories. But before they leave, we'd like to have an opportunity for you to see who our judges were and let them tell you a little bit about what they thought of this year's entrants. So our first judge is Mr. Robert Beeden, who is a retired administrator from the Port Huron Area School District, but more importantly, he is the founder of the CO2 Race Car Challenge about 10 years ago, I believe. Bob, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us a little bit, please, about what you think about this year's crop of cars.
I think they're outstanding. Had a tough time clarifying which ones ought to be first, second, and third, and I think that's a tribute to the teachers and to the students, and I'm sure there was a lot of parental support, which is really important since a lot of the work has to be done outside the classroom.
Now, you've done this for about 10 years before this, 9 years before, so how does this group compare to what you've seen in the past?
Well, every year there are several that are the same design, but each year we're very thankful that many come up with some creative twists. You know, you can only do so much with a block of wood, or even in the automobile industry, they can only do so much with the designing of cars. But I'm always impressed with the artistic endeavor that has to be stimulated in the mind and then come out through the hand and then actually be produced. You know, it's a real process, and I think that's what they're trying to get across.
Very good, thank you. Let me trade places with you. And this is Craig Richards, who is the School to Work Coordinator from St. Clair County RESA. Good morning.
Ken, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
And could you tell me which do you think was the hardest category to find a winner for?
I think the hardest was probably the best in show. All these cars are beautiful, and the kids did a great job, and it's my first tour of duty, so it was difficult to decide.
Now, I'm not giving any secrets away here, but I saw you come down the table with one of the other judges and say, one of you was saying, well, it's right down here somewhere, but I'm not sure where it was. What are some of the things that you were looking for when you were looking for most original design?
Well, we're certainly looking for originality in the design, creativity, also in the paint job, and that's pretty much it.
And an original design, it doesn't matter how fast the car goes, we're looking for the creativity and the development of the vehicle.
Absolutely. As judges, we have no idea how they're going to go down that track.
And I don't think you're going to find out until the show airs which one wins. Okay, let me trade places with you. And this is Rick Battani from Altair Engineering Incorporated, and this is your first year of judging with us, I think.
That's correct.
Okay, and thank you. Tell me a little bit about Altair Engineering.
Altair Engineering is an analysis and engineering company headquartered out of Troy. It's actually a global company, actually doing quite well in the industry. Based on software as well, on the analysis side.
So do you work with race cars at all?
We've actually built a few.
The real ones?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you think about this this batch of cars we have here? I think any of them are prototypes and could be constructed for the real racetrack?
You never know. I mean, if you look at today's models, they're going in a lot of different directions. So, you know, we've got a lot of future engineers here.
Now, we talked about original design. Let me ask you about best finish. What do you look for in the best finish category?
Well, actually, best finish is really going to catch your eye when you first walk up to the table. You're going to get the reflection off of the lights. The kids put a lot of extra work into it, a lot of sanding, a little extra finishing touches.
I've noticed a couple of the cars look almost like glass. The finish is so smooth and so perfect. Looks a lot better than the car I'm driving, actually.
Same with mine, I'm sure.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, oops, they stepped off camera. Gentlemen, can you step back in here for a second? On behalf of the Port Huron Area School District, we would like to thank you very much for taking your time to be here this morning to judge the cars for us. And we wouldn't have these winners if it weren't for your expert eyes looking them over, because I would be very hard-pressed to figure out which one had the best paint finish, which is the best design, most original. And I think you've done an excellent job. We'll announce your results in a little while later in the show. Thank you again.
Thank you.
So right now I have one of the students with me who has created a pretty interesting car design. His name is Justin Mitchell, and what school are you from?
I'm from Chippewa.
From Chippewa, okay. Justin, we're going to focus in on your car a little bit. Tell me about this design. How did you come up with this?
Well, my friend Zach and I, we were thinking of ideas and got kind of creative when we thought, hey, why not a shark?
Now hold it real still for the camera for a minute from the side so they can see you've got eyeballs and teeth and fins, and if the camera can come in, they'll actually see that it is a shark.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think about its chances for winning the race?
I'm not so sure about it, you know, because it's kind of heavy.
Yeah. Okay, I can imagine with all the wood that you've got in there, plus the additional wood for the fins and things, it might have a little bit of weight. But it doesn't matter necessarily if it's the fastest car, because there are other categories. So which category are you hoping for?
Best in show.
Best in show, okay. Best in show or maybe most original design? Okay, so we'll see if it comes true. Good luck to you, and good luck to your car. We'll see if this car goes as fast as a great white can in the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to the industrial arts teachers who brought this competition to Chippewa Middle School this year. And our first teacher is Jamie Quicksall from Central Middle School, industrial arts teacher. Hi, Jamie.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Jamie, can you tell me a little bit about how the students get started in this progress? How do they build their car? We've seen a lot of the cars race, saw a lot of the designs. How do they do this?
Well, there at Central, we start off. I start off teaching students how to draw, and they come up with a design, what they want their car to look like. After the design process is done there, they get a block of wood and trace their design onto their block of wood.
Okay, so then how does it become the shape that it is? Do they have to use tools in the industrial arts program to do that?
Yes, we've got several different tools. The main tool that they use to shape it is the bandsaw.
Okay, and how do they hollow them out?
They come pre-drilled.
Oh, okay.
CO2.
So, no, I don't mean in the CO2. I mean, I noticed some of the cars have a hollow bottom that it looks like they've drilled them out or something.
Right. We use a Foster bit and just use the drill bit or the drill press to drill that out.
And just out of curiosity, do you have any samples that they can look at so they have an idea of what might be a faster car or what might be a bad choice as far as weight or design?
What I have is just cars from the past, and I use those as examples to what was a good design and what was a bad design.
Okay. And of course the kids know there's 4 categories, so they can shoot for one of them. If fast doesn't seem to be the answer, they can go for best finish.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a good finish for you. Thanks for the interview. Joining me now is the industrial arts teacher from Chippewa Middle School and our host this year, Brian Warren. Thank you, Brian, for hosting this event.
It was my pleasure. I'm glad to have the guys come over.
But let me ask you a little bit. If people saw the show last year, they saw the cars racing on the floor. We've got a raised track this year. How did that come about?
Well, we managed to get in contact with Algonquin Middle School down in Algonac, and they were looking to get rid of their track. We managed to purchase an aluminum above the ground track, which really seemed to help the racing this year.
So did you notice anything else, like how long is the track and the average speed? Did that seem to improve this year?
You know, the speed stayed about the same, but what it really helped with is just working the track. It's a problem to get down on the floor and hook up the cars, but when they're working above the ground, it's much more comfortable, a lot easier, and it just seemed to go a lot faster this year.
Okay. Our average time, our fastest time was under a second, I believe, 0.9 something, 0.996. How does that compare to a real size car? If you computed that out, do you have any idea how fast a real race car might be going?
Well, I'm not sure in scale speed, but in the past we've calculated the speed of the cars, and they're traveling over 45 miles an hour at the end of the track, the fastest cars. In scale speed,
I think Mr. Houghton figured it out once, and he said it was about 700 miles an hour if they could actually do that.
That would be incredible to be in a car like that.
I don't want to be in your car when you're going that fast, I'll tell you right now. Let me just ask you one other question here. When the kids are working with their cars, they're working in the IAT shop, the industrial arts shop, and they do all the preparing and everything. Do they have a chance to test the cars ahead of time and see how fast they're going, what they might be able to do to make them faster?
Each of the schools have their own qualifier race. Now, every 8th grader is able to make a car, but we're only able to bring 30 of those cars to this race, so you have to qualify at the school. And then, so they know what they're up against. But there are some difference in conditions. We race at the school over 40 feet, and this track is 60 feet long. So that kind of changes the play. So the outcome is never a given.
Yep. And I do have to admit, I saw the kids working the track this year, and in the video from last year, it does look like this was a much better opportunity to have it a raised track. Didn't have to bend over quite so much and fumble with the fish line, which probably the folks at home can't see. But there is a fish line involved to keep the cars on the track.
Yeah, that could be a disaster if we didn't have that fish line. We did, when we first got the track, we tried it without the fish line, and to a car, every single one comes off the track without a fish line.
Well, we don't want that to happen, and we do want our winners to rejoice in the fact that they had the fastest speed or the best finish, etc. Thank you very much for all that you did, and thank you for hosting this year's event.
It was, in fact, a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, this is David Clive from Fort Gratiot, and David, I see you have a pretty interesting car. What was the hardest part of making your car?
Probably figuring out the original design and how you're going to plan it out.
Okay. I see you have a pretty unique design here compared to the other cars. Your wheels are on the inside.
Yeah, this was actually going to be a front inside wheel well, but I ended up accidentally drilling to the end, so I just shaved it off there, and that's how I got the front design.
So what made you decide to do it that way?
I saw some other cars that, look awesome with the wheels inside, so I tried to do it that way.
How do you think it's going to race?
Pretty well. I think I got third in my school, so I think it's going to do pretty well here.
Okay, very good. So any other categories you're hoping for?
Maybe original paint job. I don't know. I see some other cars here that have awesome paint job as well. So.
Well, all I can say is good luck to you. It's the only one, I think, with inside wheels, so we'll see what happens. At least they're not going to fly off, are they?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, David.
Thanks.
Good luck. As I mentioned earlier, Chippewa Middle School is hosting this year's event, and joining me is Mr. Paul Cruz, the assistant principal.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to ask you, what does the Industrial Arts Technology program mean to your school? How do the kids like it?
The kids really enjoy the program. It gives them a chance to have some hands-on activities with still in an academic environment, and it's very beneficial to our kids.
Do you think it gives kids a chance to excel in an area that they might not otherwise have an opportunity to express themselves?
Absolutely, and some of the kids that are racing today, some of the kids that will do very well, some of them don't do so well in their academic classes, and it gives them that opportunity for success.
This is kind of like another example of athletics or academics or, those clubs and activities that kids can get involved in. Gives them one chance where they can really shine, and you never know. One of the future car designers might be on display here with the CO2 Race Car Challenge.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope we have that kind of effect in the future of our world with these kids.
Do you think your real car looked like any? Do you wish your real car looked like any of these?
I'm not sure I could fit in any of them.
Well, I mean full size, of
Yeah,
course.
even full size. I'm not sure I could fit into some of them.
Well, thank you very much for hosting the event this year. We really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure.
It wouldn't be a race without a pit crew, and joining me now is one of the members of Chippewa's pit crew. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Elizabeth Reed. I'm at Chippewa Middle School.
What grade are you?
8th.
8th grade. Okay, Elizabeth, tell me what is the pit crew doing? What are you doing for the pit crew?
I'm recording the times right over there.
And what's going to happen after we record all the times?
We're going to see which car was fastest.
Okay, and are you surprised how fast the cars are?
Yes.
Me too. I can't believe it. It's like the blink of an eye and they're gone, right? Good luck writing down all those numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you for being interviewed. And this is Dennis Houghton, our industrial arts teacher from Holland Woods. And Mr. Houghton, we've worked a lot this year talking about this. I noticed as we were coming into the event today that there were a lot of different shapes of cars here. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, the shapes, different shapes of cars are all attributed to the students in their design. We talk about aerodynamics, but we talk about their ability to be free about their style, and there's a lot of things that are considered, like if their goal is to make this a very unique design, then they're going to try to achieve that. But most of them are looking for cars that are going to be lightweight and aerodynamic.
A lot of them are looking at maybe two categories, like winning a fast race, but also maybe best finish, most original design. And I think some of them realize that the opportunity to win best or fastest time is a little harder, but maybe the best design is a little easier because they can really express themselves.
Yeah, I think that at each of the schools we talk about that. Fastest car is what you're trying to achieve here, but ultimately you want the best looking car here also.
Now you mentioned weight, so is that why some of the cars are long and narrow, kind of a pencil style, and some of them are hollowed out inside when you maybe a bulkier, boxier car, but they're all hollowed out?
Yes, in fact, what my students do is that they come up with their design, they think about the weight, but they really don't understand the material until they actually get into it. Mm-hmm. So after they cut the car, and as they start to work on it with the files and the sandpaper, I have a little scale put aside. It's a digital scale, and they go over and weigh their car. And the fun thing about this is that they start comparing it to other students in the class. And then they say, well, Mr. Houghton, what can I do? What can I do to this car to make it lighter? So we look at the design, and then they're willing to redesign it a little bit, then they go for that. And so, yeah, ultimately that's the weight is always considered here, and they're checking on this all the time.
Now, are the cars made completely at school, or can they take them home and have family members help them?
We try to keep them at school, but these kids sometimes are so excited that they want to show their parents. So I don't discourage them from that, but I ask them to make sure you bring it back. And so I think for the most part they take them home just so they can show mom or dad, but they do bring it back and they keep on working on this, and it's a wonderful thing for them.
Okay, and so then one other question. I know in the last couple of years the event's been held in the evening, was with the idea of maybe getting more parents involved, but we switched back to daytime. Why is that?
You know, that's what our goal was. We wanted more parents there, but we started to realize after the second year, Fort Gratiot hosted it in the evening, and then Hollandwood's the next year we hosted it in the evening, and we started to see a lot of parents coming, but students were not able to come because their engagement in soccer, baseball, and any other event is usually in the afternoon or in the evening. So we started to see the decline in students, and we thought, you know, we want our students to be here because they should experience from the get-go. In other words, when they first initiate the design in that, they should see it at the ultimate, which is the finish.
Yep, very good. Well, thank you again for all the planning, all the work, all the things that the industrial arts teachers have done to bring this to Chippewa Middle School this year, and I could tell the kids were really excited about it. It was a great experience.
And on behalf of all the industrial arts teachers, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Kraft, for helping us and making this possible again. So we're looking forward to next year, and you know, may the best man win again.
And I'd like to throw one other thank you out there. We'd like to thank CPHS 6 as well. They've been here, I think, every year, as far as I can tell, taping this so that we can air it on CPHS 6. So if families can't be here, they do have the opportunity to see it home by tuning into CPHS 6, Channel 6, this and many other programs that they bring to us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, as we're getting ready to do the awards ceremony, I would like to ask the 4 industrial arts teachers to come forward so they can present the awards to their students and congratulate all the participants. Most original design. This is the car that has the most unique characteristics, the unusual design, or just plain thinking outside the box. The judges said they had a hard time because there were so many that caught their eye, but the winners are, in 3rd place, Jacob Maxwell from Fort Gratiot. Come on down, Jacob. Okay, now turn and look at the camera for a second. There we go. Good job. Can you find your car? Okay. Let's claim your car and move down to the other side of Mr. Houghton.
Then come down this way.
Right down here. In 2nd place for the most original design, we have Justin Mitchell from Chippewa. Justin, that way. And in first place for most original design, Sandra Holloway from Central. What's your car look like? Sandra? Down here? Oh, there it is. Okay, guys, if you can come around behind me here and just kind of stay here for a second so we can get all the winners in one shot. And we'll announce the others and bring them up. Just kind of stand behind me here. Thank you. Our next category is Best Finish. In 3rd place, Andrea Young from Holland Woods. In second place, best finish, Selena Sepulveda from Holland Woods. Here?
It's the gold one.
Here? Here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome, man. That was a good job. Where's she at?
And in first place for best finish, from Holland Woods, Claudia Eady. We're moving into our next category, Best in Show. Third place winner, Matt Bagaski from Central. Know where your car is? Second place for Best in Show, Winslow Chapman from Chippewa.
Accepting Tyler Baird.
Tyler Baird is going to accept the award for Winslow Chapman. And Best in Show, first place, Fort Gratiot, Matt Brown. If you just stand there with the group. And these are our winners and representatives from Best in Show. Thank you, guys. And finally, we have our fastest cars, best times. We already know that Ryan Roach held the first position for a long time, but wound up in third. Ryan Roach, but what school? Holland Woods. In second place, fastest car from Holland Woods, Tyler Fidel. And finally, the fastest car in this year's CO2 Race Car Challenge, also from Holland Woods, 158 Eric Olson. And these are the winners of the fastest time category, the fastest car. Let's give them a hand. Okay, and now if I can ask all of the winners to come around and form a group in front of the table so the camera can get a shot of everyone who took home one of the awards. Camera's over that way.
I wanted to explain the trophy, the trophy that goes to school. This is for the fastest car.
Okay.
So it goes to
We have one last award to announce, and that is there's a traveling trophy, which if you'll hold that up high, the traveling trophy goes to the school that has the fastest car, and this year all 3 fastest cars came from Holland Woods Middle School. The trophy goes home with the Holland Woods students. You got them? Okay, thank you, students. You can return to your seats. And that brings our awards program for this year to a close. We'd like to thank everybody for participating. Especially like to thank our judges for all of their help in determining our winners. Thanks to Robert Beeden, retired Port Huron Area School District Administrator, Rick Battani from Altair Engineering, and Craig Richards, School to Work Coordinator from St. Clair Tech. We'd also like to thank Chippewa Middle School for hosting this year, and to our industrial arts teachers for all of their efforts in bringing this competition to fruition. We'd like to especially thank our pit crew here at Chippewa who put in a lot of extra time running cards and recording times. It's been an all-around great event, and we'd like to thank everybody for participating and wish you all the best next year. This is Tim Brandon, the industrial arts teacher from Fort Gratiot. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thanks.
And tell me, how'd you like the race today?
Very good. I like to see my kids win, but that doesn't always happen.
Okay, so you didn't take the trophy back home with you, as we found out at the end of the competition, but I think you had a good show anyway.
Yes, we did.
Okay, let me ask you a question, if I may. What's the educational purpose of the CO2 Race Car Challenge?
Well, the Race Car Challenge comes from a look at industry and the design and research and design aspect of any product.
Okay.
We happen to use these cars for the kids to look at what's going to make a fast car, and then research and then come up with a design of their own to make what they think is going to be the fastest car.
Okay, so we do talk about weight and aerodynamics and friction and all those things.
Physics, math come into play when they're designing the final product.
Okay, so it's kind of cross-curricular then. The things that they're learning in other classes come in as well.
Yeah, we hope they realize that math doesn't stay in the math classroom or science in the science room. So that's the purpose of this, kind of a life learning experience.
And of course it does give them an opportunity to do a hands-on study as opposed to just working from a book.
Right, they all hands-on, you know, making it happen.
But my understanding of the Industrial Arts Tech program is that it's all hands-on. There's a lot of things that the kids are working with in the Industrial Arts classroom. Tell me a little bit about some of the other things you do.
Okay, besides the hands-on work, the obvious thing in the Woods Lab, we also have what we call our Tech Lab, and they look at different industry aspects where possibly they will have to figure out the length of an angle with Pythagoras theorem, and we try to draw in skills that they've had in all their classrooms, their science classrooms, the math especially, and they have to use their social skills, working with a partner. History comes into play in some aspects. So,
and they go through a lot of modules, right? Things like robotics and...
They deal with robotics, construction, graphics, communications. A lot of the communication industries are covered.
Your favorite project is the one with the onion juice, I think.
Yeah, the biotech, the gene splicing. So they have a lot of biotech information in that one unit,
I
yeah.
understand. That's the one that makes most of the kids cry.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for being my guest today, and it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you also for all that you've done to bring the race car to Chippewa Middle School this year.
Thank you.
Hit it!